Hello, beloveds. This is Donnie, and we're going to have our tarot class in a very short time. And I thought I'd come and make one more video and tell you some more about what you might expect at the tarot class. Now, if you've seen the other two tarot videos I've made, you'll remember that I told you that the tarot is a map of the subconscious, and it's a way to tell where you are and where you're going. It doesn't tell the future per se, but it tells you what directions you're going in, and then given that, you get to decide where you want to go, whether you like that direction or not. So I thought in this video I'd tell you a little bit more about how the tarot is structured. Now, the big thing about the tarot, at least the way I see it and teach it, is that it's all about the story. Everyone loves a good story, and the tarot will not disappoint in that way, because the tarot is all about the story. As a matter of fact, a big piece of the tarot is one big story. The tarot has two parts to it, and the first main part of that tarot is called the Major Arcana. Arcana is a funny word. It just means box of secrets. So it's the big box of secrets versus the little box of secrets. There's a second thing there. But I'm just going to show you a little bit about the big box of secrets. And to do that, I brought some cards here. And notice how I got these big tarot cards. So I thought it'd be good to teach with, because they're big. Anyway, what is this story I've been talking about? What is this story? Well, it's the quintessential story that everyone knows, that you have heard 1,000 million times, that you can recite backwards and forwards in all its variations. And what is this story that's so common that I'm telling you that you know? It's the hero story. The story of the hero, which you have heard in all kinds of variations, and the general pattern of that is that the hero is living in his or her town, and he feels unsatisfied, that there's something greater, something more, something. He's restless, and so he leaves the town on this quest. And in classical heroes' tales, it's been like the Holy Grail, the philosopher's stone in the classical ones. And along the journey, as he's trying to go on this quest, he meets challenges and has to overcome those challenges. In the fairy tales you've heard, those challenges are slaying dragons. He has to slay dragons, but not just that, he also has to rescue fair damsels in distress. So those are the two things he does. And then he reaches the quest, the end of the quest, only to return home. It's just one big round trip. But when he does return home, he's completely changed. He's completely different. He's larger as a person. He's wiser now, can make a bigger contribution. And that's really the whole thing. And this Major Arcana tells such a story. And who is our hero in the Major Arcana story but the Fool? The Fool is our hero of the story, and he's going to go on a big major quest. As you can see in this picture, I don't know if you can see it very well, you see the person, and it's kind of an androgynous figure. It could be a male or female, or it's probably both. And he, she, I'll just say they, are now jumping off the cliff into physical space. And along the way, I'm going to put him down, they make 20 stops, or 21 stops rather. And all the cards of the Major Arcana, these are the cards here, these are the stops he makes. And on each card he learns something. And only at the end to make his final appearance. And I won't give away the story, but I'll tell you that this is one of the major parts of the tarot that you're going to learn. And to bring it up to date, I'll compare it with some stories you already know that are tarot stories, although they're not billed as that, and I don't think the person who wrote these stories thought, I'm going to write a tarot story, but this pattern is so deeply ingrained in our consciousness that it just shows up automatically without someone trying to make it up. For example, there's one tarot story that I'm calling a tarot story that you all know and that you all love, and that's The Wizard of Oz. I would tell you that is a tarot story, even though the author, L. Frank Baum, didn't. I'm sure he didn't sit down and think that. So you think about the Fool in this case is Dorothy. She is the heroine, and she's restless and she wants to leave. She wants to find something over the rainbow, and she goes to Oz, and she goes on this quest, and along the way she meets many different people, and she has to slay dragons, the witch, and she has to find compassion in her companions, and finally she gets to go home. So I'll give you one final thought about this and why this story is so important for our general consciousness, because this hero story is a story that all of us are on, and throughout our lifetimes, this is how I see it. All of us are slaying dragons and then finding finding compassion, finding helping damsels in distress. And what that really means, and what that really is a metaphor for, is that as we slay dragons, we're conquering our fears, and as we rescue fair damsels in distress, we are finding compassion. So there's this 1-2 step. We go forward, then we step back a little bit, and this is the essence of a spiritual path. And so that's what's being described here in a very generic, kind of esoteric way in the tarot. So anyway, that was a long explanation. I hope you'll come and join Kirk and me in this exploration as we read and understand the tarot. Namaste.